Cultural resources, looking at the properties in this particular area that have historical significance, trying to take those properties that have historical significance and promote travel and tourism to this particular area. This is a map that shows cultural resources and opportunity sites along this corridor that will develop as time goes by and maximize their potential for tourism and business opportunities. Natural resources, looking at the watersheds, we have three rivers, Jacobs Fork, Henry Fork, South Fork, that all come together in this particular area, geographic area that we're talking about. We're working on a Carolina Thread Trail, an extensive network through 15 counties to tie a series of greenways, blueways together from the Charlotte region up to this area so that we have a system of network of interrelated greenways, trails, sidewalks, and so forth. Does that make sense today? Well, Wachovia, Wells Fargo, Bank of America put about $15 million into this 3 or 4 years ago before the bottom fell out. It's a good idea, and I think over time it will benefit the economy and travel and tourism, and it's something that we're involved in to try to create those networks and interlinking opportunities that we might have. A voluntary agricultural program is moving along. We've gotten over 6,000 acres in the program so far. This is farmers coming together into a program so that development that occurs in the future will recognize and know that farms exist in the area to try to cut down on some of the obviously conflicts that we sometimes have with farm operations and housing and development. We're developing a farmland preservation program, again trying to maximize the opportunities that farmers have here and to promote future opportunities and development, particularly with our eco-complex and what is happening there. Natural resources, I just mentioned, will continue to play upon that. A lot of rivers, as I said, a lot of floodplain areas, so some challenges here to work around as we bring development and opportunities to this area. I mentioned earlier, the economic development component in my mind is the most important part of this. Again, doing all we can to promote the mixed use nodes, the development, the corridors, to look at business, both the large tract development as well as the mixed use park development. These are the nodes that I mentioned, the areas, the interchanges, Rocky Ford 321, 10 321, the Sandy Ford 321, and our River Road 321. These are areas where you want to try to concentrate as much growth and development as you can, taking advantage of the road network, taking advantage of the water and sewer, and the other infrastructure that you have in place. One of the nodes, the Rocky Ford node, with the interchange going in place, are the plans to develop around that circle, if you will. There really are. A mixed-use development could occur there with retail, shopping, housing, low-density, high-density development, recreation. There's all kinds of opportunities along these nodes. Again, if you can't dream it, if you don't have the vision, you can't make it a reality. And it's better to plan ahead than to react, we believe. Business industrial parks. Again, the Lincoln County Park. Could this happen along this corridor? Absolutely. Did any of us 10 years ago think Apple could happen, or Target could happen, or Google? It can happen, and we need to plan for it. We need to identify those opportunity sites and make sure we've got the infrastructure in place to accommodate this type of development. Again, there'll be opportunities for large tract development, such as Target, such as Apple, where maybe it's not necessarily in a park, but it's in a standalone 100 or 2 acre tract of land. But again, identifying where those opportunities will be. It's all about marketing and promotion. What can we do to show Apple, to show Target and other industries that we're serious about continuing to develop around them to benefit and create the synergies that everybody needs today. So these were our anchors. These are the catalysts, the Target, the eco-complex, and then of course Apple. We'll try to develop a plan around these 3 entities so that we can build upon that momentum and keep it going. Again, a photograph of the target from a distance. Eco-complex. Anybody know anything about our eco-complex? Have you had a presentation on it yet? Have you heard Barry? Have you heard Barry Edwards yet?
I haven't exposed him to that yet. That would probably be a good thing to have.
Well, maybe after happy hour, when everybody is more relaxed and can handle his presentation. But it's quite involved. So I'm going to give you the USA Today version, but if you want the Wall Street Journal version, you need to have Barry here. It's mostly in his head, and that is a scary thing. But what we're trying to do now is help him convert it to a map and on paper so that people can see it, sense it, and get a real perspective of what it's all about. But the biodiesel research facility is one of the programs that are now being developed. The building is being constructed. Well, our partner is ASU. I mentioned ASU earlier. It's the whole notion of growing sunflowers, canola on the property for now, taking the oil, converting it into biodiesel research, and ultimately being able to put it on the street. There's all kinds of opportunities with farmers and farmland production in this whole region, working around what can we do to lessen our dependence upon foreign oil and do what we can here locally. So this is really gaining a lot of notoriety around the nation as well as internationally. Again, it's a big vision, it's a big dream. Some people think we're kind of nuts, but he thinks and we believe that it's something we need to pursue. Green industries, green jobs, this whole notion of green technology is here for the long haul. This is another facility, a bioenergy out of Vancouver that has a lot of potential. We're looking to build a facility here. Again, the synergy of the different types of components on the eco-complex. After all, it's a landfill, for crying out loud. We're trying to take a landfill and convert it into something else. I like to use the term, put lipstick on a pig. But it has the opportunity, folks, for a lot of research, development, a lot of cutting edge technology. It's the whole notion here of taking wood byproducts, heating it at low temperature to create a gas. The gas then is used to turn the turbines and the generators to produce electricity. So it's going to be our own power plant to sell excess electricity back into the grid system, but to use the energy generated on site from wood byproducts to fuel the other businesses that will be coming there to reduce the energy costs to all the businesses who will be players on the site. So this is just one example of a whole host, Terry, of many types of businesses that I won't get into that are planned for the eco-complex, which holds a lot of promise for the future in creating a lot of jobs and a lot of opportunity. Apple, we actually shot this from the right of way. I hope we don't get in trouble, Chris. Yesterday we had to go up to the guardhouse. We had to have permission to get inside. We had to answer 15 to 20 questions that we really simply wanted to do a little PowerPoint presentation just to have a slide to show the folks what Apple was up to. Then we go to another location and same spiel again. This guy looks at us. I guess we looked a little shady. I guess when he found out we were from the government, he was really worried. He said, well, you need to send me an email. We need to send it up line. I'm sure Apple will be okay with it. The bottom line is Apple's a pretty secure place, so just don't try getting in there. And if you drive in and get through there, don't back up because you'll lose your tires. But anyway, what an exciting opportunity here. That Apple is here. They're here to stay. They're growing. I don't think this is the end of the game. I think this is just the beginning. And I know everybody in this room is excited about the potential. So we shot this site from the right away. The cameras were watching us, so if we get in trouble, you guys bail us out. We're really innocent in what we're trying to do. Next steps, we hope to have this plan completed certainly this fall, have a series of public forums for input on how we're doing, what we need to adjust, what we need to modify, taking it to the planning board later this winter for their recommendation, ultimately to the board of commissioners for their final blessing of this particular plan. Sitting down with Maiden, Newton, Hickory prior to that, and hopefully getting an understanding and an agreement on where water lines and sewer lines and other infrastructure should go and who should be the partners in moving forward. So Terry, with that, I guess I'll entertain any questions. I hope